What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Smart Marketer podcast. Hope you're having an amazing day. I am Molly Pittman here with Mr. Zach Dampier, and we are going to recap our annual event that just happened in Denver, Colorado. So this is called Smart Marketer Live, and this is a coming together of hundreds of marketers, entrepreneurs, and people that are just nerdy about this digital marketing stuff. And it's really a chance for us to see each other in person, for us to share information, for us to connect. And you will be hearing a lot about Smart Marketer Live on the coming episodes of this podcast because Zach conducted some amazing interviews actually at the live event with a lot of the speakers. So whether you were able to attend or not, you are going to be getting a lot of value over the coming weeks from Zach and these experts. So in this episode, we're just going to quickly recap what went down in Denver. And also tell you guys that, yes, we have been getting the question, will you be doing Smart Marketer Live again next year? Yes, we will. Probably in Denver in the same location, which is a beautiful art museum. You guys tell us that you really like it, and we like it too. So we'll probably run that back.
See you there, Denver.
Yeah, see you there. We will start selling tickets again in about a month, so be on the lookout for that. But in terms of Smart Marketer Live 2025, we really took it to the next level this year. Zach, what was your favorite part of the event?
I think my favorite part of the event was, all the stuff on stage was great, but for me as the content coordinator, the amount of content that I was able to shoot just in the background, in the back little garden room, getting those podcasts recorded, getting testimonials, getting an agency series with our agency employees shot. We were doing a lot. What went down in Denver was the soles on my shoes. I was looking at my fitness app on my phone, and you could see our hotel from the art museum. So it wasn't a long walk to get there.
Yeah.
I walked 15 miles in 3 days, just going around the room, taking pictures of the event, and then going downstairs to the room where we were shooting content. I was just back and forth.
You were out there doing it. This was a dream for a content coordinator who works with a remote company.
Yeah.
The only person you live near on our team is myself and Ben Bennett, our creative director. Everyone else lives around the world. So to have not only the speakers and guests, but part of our team in person, that was a dream for you.
Yeah, that was one thing that we didn't even mention in the previous call talking about my role. I knew as soon as I took the job, I was not going to be the social media manager that was face to camera doing all of these influencer type videos. And so then I was like, I have to really plan ahead to be able to get this stuff shot from people who I can't even be around. So yeah, getting everybody in one place, I'm like, yes, I am going to peer pressure you until I get this stuff done. And that's what we did. Me and Paul did a great job. We realized that we had a better hit rate of getting people to do testimonials if we both went, because then they'd be disappointing 2 people instead of just disappointing 1.
Yeah, it's really smart.
Yeah.
When I worked at Digital Marketer, we hosted an event called Traffic and Conversion Summit. And something that Russ Henneberry and I would note that I should have passed down to you. So we actually had a booth where we would shoot testimonials. So people would walk by, and when we would say, hey, will you shoot a testimonial? They would say no, or they would keep walking. Marketing. When we would say, hey, are you enjoying the event? And then they said yes, then we asked for the testimonial. Our conversion rate was so much higher because they've just agreed that, yes, they're having a good time. So why wouldn't they share that information? So
yeah, we had a big win because there was a group of 3 girls that were probably a little younger than me, but a younger demographic, and you don't see very many of those at a conference. And so they all huddled up and made a friend group, and we knew one of them, so we went and talked to them, and they're one of our agency clients. So we were like, oh, won't you do a testimonial? And they're like, oh, you're going to take her away from us? And I was like, well, we're going to take her away, then we're going to bring her back, and then you're going to come with us, and then we'll bring you back, and then she's going to come with us, and we'll bring you back. So we ended up getting 3 testimonials out of the group. And then I was able to introduce them. Well, one of them already knew her, but I was able to connect them with my wife, Maria. And so then she had friends that were there, and they have their own group chat now. So I was like, got friends for my wife, got 3 testimonials for work. I am doing it all right now.
Let's go. You got your exercise. Yeah, I really events have always been my favorite part of being in this industry. They are exhausting. They are a shit ton of work. Afterwards, you need to sleep for a few days. But there is nothing as fulfilling as meeting people that you talk to all year long on the internet, or meeting people that you've never talked to, but they come up and they tell you how much, Smart Marketer has influenced their life. It's so fulfilling. And it's like, it's almost like a family reunion. And I think this year, 2 of my favorite parts, of course, were the onstage presentations. So Ezra and I really thought all year long, if we were sitting at a conference, who would we want to learn from? And what would we want to learn? And what does our community want to learn? So we can't go through all the amazing speakers, but some of the favorites were Ashley Wright on TikTok Shop. That's such a big topic right now. Of course, Nick Shackelford. Most of you guys know of Nick. He's been in the marketing space for a long time. He talked about how he's built his retention program for his beverage company called Breeze with only 3 people, which is pretty crazy. We did a few interviews with some of our clients, which were really fun. Beeve from Tactical Baby Gear was one of the favorites. He just has such a beautiful story and such a cool, fun presence about him.
For sure.
We interviewed Sammy Herrera from Meta, one of our friends and one of the smartest people that I know when it comes to paid advertising. And she's just an open book on how the advertising platform actually works. And even Nick Shackelford stood up in the crowd during her session and said, guys, this never happens at events. Like, you never get someone from Meta that actually knows what they're talking about willing to share information. And it just felt like such an open, loving environment. The content shared, I think, was extraordinary, but then we also paired that with a lot of discussion. I don't like to use the word networking because I think that has a negative connotation, but we really took the roundtables to the next level this year. So on day 1, the roundtables were assigned. So we have all attendees fill out a survey of what they're looking for help with, what the problems and opportunities are in their business or career. And then John and I manually assign them to tables with an expert where we're able to spend 5 or 10 minutes on each person. And as a group, they are helping with the problem or opportunity. And I think you just don't see that at a lot of conferences. And I like that roundtable style because especially for introverts who aren't going to be the first person to go sit down at a table and ask a question, it makes sure that you get that personalized feedback, but you also learn so much by helping other people and hearing the feedback for everybody else at your table. And then the second day, we did more of a free-for-all, which was actually less chaotic than I thought, which made me happy. I didn't know what to expect with this. So we had over 30 tables that were all different topics. So Ezra's topic was business exit. Zach's was social media. We had paid traffic tables, fulfillment tables, all of the big topics in the online space. And people had 2 hours to move around and ask their questions. And that seemed to be one of people's favorite things. So we'll definitely do that again next year. What were some of the conversations at your organic social media table?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. That was kind of the first time I've been able to really put the teacher hat on about social media. So that was really cool. I had a little bit of imposter syndrome going into it because it's I just run this account. I don't really know that much. But then it was just 2 hours and every question they had, I had to answer to. I was like, this is awesome. I actually
know more than you think.
I actually am kind of a smart guy. But yeah, one of the questions that really stood out to me because I hadn't heard it before was somebody worried that doing collaborative posts, which we do all the time because you double your reach basically.
Sure.
Would hurt your reach because then you're competing with yourself on 2 different accounts. And so I told them that we have a very big discrepancy. Either it's Smart Marketer kind of piggybacking off of you and Ezra's larger account, or we just created Pep's official digital marketing account that has very little followers, so we'll let that account piggyback off of the Smart Marketer followers to kind of get it out there to our audience a little bit more. But I was like, it's really great to be able to build one page up when you already have a following on the other. I could see maybe if they're like similar level pages that it's not very productive, but I don't think it would be hurtful by any means. So I was glad to be able to have that discussion with them. And then obviously most social media managers are going to ask about like scheduling posts. There's a big misconception that scheduling posts makes your reach go down. And so they have an alarm on their phone every day to manually go in, make your post. And it's not like that. It could have been at one point. At this point, like, you don't have to do that. You can work smarter and not harder, and it's not going to hurt your reach. You don't have to edit things in Instagram's edits app.
Yes.
They did originally. You would get a little bit of a bump because they wanted people to move to that platform. But at this point, there's not. Well, they said it gave a bump, and then one of the masterminds I'm in that has hundreds of social media managers, they actually did a study and everybody gave their average views with the edits app and without, and they didn't find a big enough discrepancy for it to be worthwhile. They just wanted people on the platform.
And why not make it easier? But it was so cool. I looked over at your table and it was full.
Yeah.
And that made me so proud and excited for you. And on the collaborations, you know, Zach just started running the social media for our dog rescue, Fields of Freedom Dog Rescue. Follow us, especially on Instagram and Facebook. And Cuddle Clones, which is in our mastermind, they are also one of the biggest sponsors for the dog rescue. When they do collaboration posts with us, it's crazy because they have thousands and thousands of followers. And that's just such a simple example of like, why the heck would we not do this?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I love the roundtables. And then of course the parties, you know, I think at Smart Marketer, it's not like it was 10 years ago where I would go to those conferences and party till 3 a.m., get up at 5 a.m. and do it again. I can't do that as much anymore. Shout out to the people that can. But I was really happy we were able to put together, like on Tuesday night, there was a party at this really cool bowling place called Lucky Strike in Denver. And some people said that was one of their favorite parts of the event because they got to mingle, they got to play games. There was a really fun energy there. So I loved everything about the conference at the art museum. And then I love everything that surrounds it. Even looking out of the window of my hotel room and seeing people walk down the street with our lanyards on and knowing that they did not know each other before this conference happened, I think that's what this is really about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part. I feel like last year we had somebody, they ended up going into business together because they met at Smart Marketer Live. I mean, obviously the friendships are there, but even the business connections, I mean, it's just...
And people hiring one another, whether it's hiring an employee, hiring an agency, there's so much that happens when you're willing to show up in person. And I think you can't truly understand someone until you meet in the flesh. So I feel like from our clients that came all the way to the people that we have never met before, we left after those 2 or 3 days with a much stronger bond and affinity for one another than we had before.
For sure. And I think for some reason we just attract a very special type of entrepreneur and business person. And I mean, they're just really good people. So it's very easy to go in and find somebody that you didn't know before and have a really good relationship with them by the time you leave the event. And like you said, like, we're remote. We're all in these little rectangular boxes. And so it was really fun being able to see everybody in person. And I'm a taller guy. My wife is also a taller woman. So whenever you see pictures of us both, like, we even each other out so we don't seem to be as tall as we are. So I don't know how many times I heard, usually with Maria, then with me, somebody coming up and be like, I had no idea that you were so tall. And so letting her... having her see all of the agency clients in person that I kind of like catch glimpses of as I walk past in the background from time to time, and just seeing like how excited she was and how much her face would light up talking to her clients and how much her clients would light up talking to her. It made me very proud of the relationship that she has built with all of her clients there. And then being able to come over as I'm taking pictures and get a good picture because they're all smiling. And then she's like, yeah, that's my husband. And then I'm like, yeah, so smile, please. And so it just worked out really good. And it was just a really awesome experience to be able to let it all kind of come together and be full circle and have that one moment where we are in kind of like the normal workspace environment.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought up the vibe. I think that's a word that's tossed around a lot now that means different things to different people, but it's really that feeling. And when we started doing Smart Marketer Live, that was the main goal. Like, we knew we wanted the best information out there in the space. That's a given. But we wanted this to feel like a family atmosphere, a very loving atmosphere. A lot of these marketing conferences, you guys know this, that you go to can be more ego driven. They're very bro-y. That's definitely how I came up in this space. And that's not always the most comfortable environment to be in. And I think with the speakers we select, our team, the people that we attract, it is like the opposite of that vibe. I think if I walked in that room and I didn't know, I would have no idea it was a marketing conference. And that is really fulfilling to me, to even see that almost half the room is women, for example. That's something you still don't see a lot of. You know, saw a friend's Instagram story last week, and he was in an event and he said 99% men. Like, that is still a thing. And that's okay. You know, different rooms are for different people, but yeah, I'm really proud of what we've built, and we will start selling tickets again, y'all, for 2026 during Black Friday. So make sure you're checking out smartmarketer.com around that time. That will be the cheapest that the tickets will ever be during Black Friday. The way that we structure this is the first day of the event is just for our mastermind mentor table. So we meet with those guys. We also do an event with them in the spring. So if you are a 7, 8, 9-figure business owner and you're interested in joining our mastermind, definitely check out Mentor Table. We'll link that in the show notes.
Yep.
But otherwise, we'll be selling tickets soon to Smart Marketer Live. And we'll take it up to the next level.
Yeah.
Again, next year, we'll get the absolute best speakers in the industry. We'll give you guys lots of space to network, to work together, to meet one another. And most importantly, we will have fun. And I think that is the number one goal of these events, is to have fun and for people to leave inspired about their business and their career. I think it can be so easy to lose motivation as remote workers because you don't get that feeling. And so for any other reason to just come dip into a space where you can leave with that motivation, that purpose, you guys should absolutely come next year. So,
for sure.
And you can see how tall Zach is. He's like a foot taller than me, and we are family members, so that's not fair.
I can guarantee 3 things for Smart Worker Live next year. You will learn a lot, you will have a lot of fun, and the people that you meet will be really genuine. I don't know if Nick ended up saying it on stage, but in the podcast, he told me that he was going to, and he actually got his start in e-commerce by pirating Ezra's email course. And so he was like, I probably owe him a couple $100 for that, but that's how I came up. And I mean, there's stuff that you hear there that is like you won't hear anywhere else. They're not going to be stuff that is posted. It's not going to be anywhere but in that art museum, in that environment with those people, because it is a safe space for entrepreneurs to come together and relate.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, we will hopefully see you next October. For the next few weeks here on the podcast, you are going to be hearing a lot of wonderful interviews with Zach and speakers from the event. So get ready. There's lots of good, juicy content and obviously stories coming your way. Nick, we forgive you for pirating our course. I think you've paid us back at this point. So thank you guys, as always, for listening or watching. If you enjoy the Smart Marketer Show, please leave us a review on whatever platform it is that you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you in the next episode. Thanks, Zach.
And if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. We actually have video now, so we're on YouTube consistently. We'll see you all around here. Peace out.